Hey guys, welcome back to another video on Cilla Stuff and Things. Today we are going to be talking about marriage. Oh boy, she's on the couch. We're getting serious with this one. Asa and I have been married for almost 20 years, which is just insane to me. That's almost half of our lifetime. So I don't know, I feel like I might have a little bit of advice to offer. And these are just things that have worked for our marriage. Obviously, everyone's going to be different. You have different personalities and different situations, but here's a little insight from me. First and foremost, communication. You're going to hear that from everybody, I feel like. Any therapist you go to, any mom or dad that's helping you out, anyone's going to tell you communication. But it goes a little further than that. So many times when we were first married, Asa and I would argue. And it's not because we didn't love each other, it's because we didn't know how to communicate effectively. And one of the things that I think is so important is that you come to your significant other with whatever problem it is, but also a resolution. So don't go to them and say, oh my gosh, I'm so mad at you because you did blah, 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 blah. Come to them and say, when you did this earlier, it really frustrated me, and maybe next time this is how we could approach that situation. Obviously, it doesn't have to be like written out like that, but it works for us. We were 19 when we got married, so we were both very immature still. I was an only child, so I had never had to share with anyone. I didn't know what marriage life was going to be like. I mean, it was very eye-opening. As I said, we got married at 19 years old. So if you are young or newlywed and you're having some issues right now, I don't want you to think, oh my gosh, this is the end all. Like, we went through some things, and there was a time in our life where we were like, maybe we're not meant to be married. And so we were separated. And then we realized that, no, we're meant for each other. No one else wants to deal with each other. So we made it work. And so it's not always going to be easy, guys, but I want to make sure that you know that when you go through those tough times, like, it's so worth it. Now, if you have other things going on, if there's abuse or anything like that, obviously you need to make that decision and you need to get out. But if it's just bickering or not agreeing on how to parent or anything like that, those things can all be worked through, in my mind. So with communication comes the part where you cannot assume that your significant other knows everything about you. I know for me, now being 39 years old, things that made me tick early on in our marriage don't affect me now, and vice versa. So we know that we're constantly changing because that's what you do as a human. And so you have to remember that and not just make assumptions that that person that loves you so much is going to know what's frustrating you, right? Like, I'm a difficult person. I know that. There are things about me that are very difficult. I'm pretty easygoing, but there are things that just annoy me. And it has taken 19 years for Asa to figure out those things. And some days, there's different things that annoy me, and that's okay. But for me, I have to communicate that to him. I can't get mad because he doesn't know. All right, guys, this is probably one of the hardest things that I think any marriage is going to deal with, and it's keeping score, right? We do it sometimes without even realizing we're doing it. And so I want you to take a step back and say, oh my gosh, yep, I did that. And what I mean by that is maybe, so for Asa and I, we take turns taking Abigail to school. One of us will take her, one of us will pick her up. Sometimes that doesn't work out, and maybe that was my day to take her, but I had an important meeting that I needed to hop on, so then Asa would take her. It's not like we're like, oh, well, you didn't take her, or anything like that. So don't keep score. For us, we share the workload, and the workload includes house things that we have to get done, actual work, like for our jobs, and taking care of the kids. And so that works in our family. Again, you're going to have your own schedule. We play off of each other's strengths and weaknesses. So where I may not be good at something, Asa is, it makes sense for him to do that. It's not this is a man's job, this is a woman's job here. It's you're really good at that, and it doesn't make sense for us to waste time on something that I'm not good at doing when you can do it. It doesn't mean I can't do it. It's just easier and more time cost effective, I guess, for your time, right? We're not talking about money, just time effective. So just, again, do what works for your family, but that works for us. This next tip is something that I've thought about so many times over and over again. And again, it's not something that I knew being married at 19 years old, but now being 39, I can tell you it is not my husband's job to make me feel a certain way. So just kind of digest that a little bit. What I mean by that, it's not up to Asa to make me feel happy. He makes me feel happy. He makes me want to be married to him, right? Like I enjoy my time with him, but it's not his job. It is my job as my own person to be happy with who I am. That's finding a job that you like, or a hobby that you like, or going somewhere that you enjoy. Finding that happiness is up to you. So don't lean on your partner to make them make you feel a certain way. Does that all make sense? You have to be happy with yourself before you're going to have a successful friendship, marriage, relationship, whatever it is you're going after. You have to find that happiness within yourself. All right, guys, I hope you've learned something, but this is what I learned. When I first got married, my mother-in-law gave me the advice, and she said, you don't always have to like him. You always have to love him. So if you are not liking your significant other today, it's okay. Tomorrow's another day, but you always have to love them. And 19 long years. I have loved him every day. I've never stopped loving him. There are days that I want to strangle him. Like a little bit, just a little bit, like shake him up a little bit. Like, what are you doing? But it's normal to have those feelings, but be a big person and work through them. If you feel like you need marriage counseling, if you feel like you need to talk to a friend, then do that. But I can tell you, I will never go to my mother with any issue that I'm having with Asa, because I forgive a lot faster than my mom. And I'm sure a lot of you can feel that same way. So comment down below, let me know, did this help you at all? I don't know. Are you struggling? I would love to talk to you guys, and I appreciate your support. So go out, give your significant other a big old hug and kiss. Tell them you love them, because you do. All right? And we will see you next time. Bye, guys. Yeah.
It doesn't come out right.
No.
I'm not liking it.
I'm not either. Let's just leave that out.
Skip that one.
Okay. When you said it in there, I was like, I don't understand that.
That's
Like,
my fault. I'll apologize for that.